Whoa, out of nowhere, Sony is dropping the look of the new DualSense PS5 wireless controller and talks about the features as well. This thing looks sick. I really like it, so let's go over everything they announced in this video. A like would be super appreciated, and let's go. No, not DualShock, but DualSense is the name of the new PS5 controller, and it looks very different from the DualShock 4, but Sony says that it feels actually smaller than it looks. We still got many of the same features from the PS4 controller though, like the touchpad in the middle, and the light bar is now actually not on top of the controller, but on both sides of the touchpad. And if we actually look at it from this side, we see that it slightly goes under the touchpad there as well. Thank God for the USB-C input. We of course already knew this, but it's great to see it here. And Sony says they took a thoughtful consideration into ways to maintain a stronger battery life for DualSense's rechargeable battery. This button on the left here is now called the Create button, and according to Sony, it should be an evolution of the Share button. We are once again pioneering new ways for players to create epic gameplay content to share with the world or just to enjoy for themselves. The name change at least makes sense, because if you record footage now on the PS4, it is not always to share it with people. But yeah, it will likely do more than the Share button that we have right now, and we will hear more about this as we get closer to launch. And yes, that launch is still holiday 2020. They said it once again in this blog post. The controller now has a built-in microphone, so you can chat with people without needing a headset, although they still recommend that you should use a headset for longer sessions, maybe to appease the tech companies that are now maybe going to sell less headsets because of this microphone. And yes, can we just talk about the sort of white shell over the controller? That's at least what it looks like. We got Paul on Twitter though, who already made a black design that I'm digging a lot too. I love red, like I only use red controllers for my PS4, and I think this would actually look great in red as well. So can't wait to see a mock-up of that as well. And with the controller being white, you would think that the actual console is going to be white as well, right? That's usually how it goes. Sony, by the way, said that they look forward to sharing more information about the PS5, including the console design, in the coming months. It already looks less like a shell in this shot though, and here we also see the way bigger R1 and L1 buttons, just like a beefed up R2 and L2, and that actually goes hand in hand with the new adaptive triggers. So you can truly feel the tension of your actions, like when drawing a bow to shoot an arrow. They are already describing how shooting a bow in the next Horizon will feel, and I already can't wait for clips where we see Aloy demonstrate this new feature. But yeah, you see my initial reaction after reading this line here in my tweet. Do it, Sony! We also have the haptic feedback that they once again touched on in this blog post, saying that it adds a variety of powerful sensations you will feel when you play, such as the slow grittiness of driving a car through the mud, and that immediately makes me think of that car section in Uncharted 4 in Madagascar. And you would think that if they made Uncharted 4 like for the PS5, like just an upgraded version, that they would have that built in. We got Andrea from Ready at Dawn, of course the studio who worked on the Order 1886, and he has been pretty upfront about the PlayStation 5, and now he's saying this controller is pure awesomeness, just wait until you feel it, and I mean that literally. It's always exciting to go to a new generation of consoles because everything looks better, and in the case of this next gen, will load way faster as well. But it's been a while since things also felt different when playing. We want gamers to feel like the controller is an extension of themselves when they are playing. So much so that they forget that it's even in their hands, Sony says. Big words, but they got me hyped up for sure, and I'm happy that Sony is trying new things. They could have just launched a slightly updated version of the DualShock 4 and that would be fine, like nobody would be like, hey Sony, what the heck are you doing? Microsoft is actually doing that. They are just releasing an updated version of their already great controller. But I like that Sony is trying to do some innovating things. Although we of course have to wait and see, like on paper this sounds great, but we wanna feel it in action. I wanna see that Horizon 2 clip that shows me why I should care. Really curious to hear what you think about the design of this new controller. Let me know in the comments down below. If you are able to Photoshop this controller in red, then also let me know in the comments down below. Totally subscribe for everything on the PlayStation 5 and of course the games. Hopefully Sony will talk about the games soon, come on. When Sony drops new info, I will of course bring it to you here as fast as possible. And totally check out my recent video on what the impact of the Last of Us Part 2 delay means for other games like Ghost of Tsushima and way more. For now though, I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.